What is up, guys? Soda the Savage back, and today I decided I would go over my postseason predictions and why I made those predictions. Now, if you didn't know, the postseason's over. The Boston Red Sox won the World Series, so today I wanted to go over what my thoughts were about the postseason and generally why I picked some of these teams to win it all, because I actually thought they would win it all. Or no, I only picked the Houston Astros to win it all. Unfortunately, they did not win it all, so I'll get to them later. So let's just start off with, this is my bracket now, or at least what I predicted before, but I actually had to put it back together because while I was cleaning my room, if you don't know this about me, I love to collect baseball cards, so I have like a set of baseball cards, and for each team I put the helmet on top of that certain team. So if there was just like a stack of Blue Jays cards, I put a Blue Jays helmet on top of it. Now, I don't have a Blue Jays helmet with me, it's up in my room, so I'm not going to go back up and get it, but this is what I predicted, and I'm just going to quickly rearrange them and put them how they originally went. Now, a few of these I actually did end up getting correct, so that's incredible. Almost done. There's the strokes. And boom! This is the correct bracket. So I'm going to go in order. I'm going to take helmets off and I'll just go over what I thought. Okay, so let's start off with the Chicago Cubs. Now, they played like absolute crap. Now, they had lost game number 163. I think they only had 3 hits that game, so that was a disappointing performance. So the next night, they go to the wild card game. I thought they were playing the Rockies. I thought that was the game that they were going to win, but once again, their offense was super stale, and somehow Rockies pitching, which is terrible, somehow was able to outlast the Cubs in a 13-inning duel as Tony Walters hits a go-ahead single. Now, who the hell is Tony Walters? I have no idea. All that I know is that he's kind of an unsung hero, but anyways, I got my prediction wrong on the wild card game. I said the Cubs would beat the Rockies, but it was actually the Rockies that beat the Cubs. Now, this was slightly biased since the Cubs are my second favorite team, but I predicted that they would end up being eliminated by the Brewers, but I'll get to that part later, so yeah. Cubs lost, so let's go on to the next team in this situation, the Oakland Athletics. Now, this one was a super biased pick. I thought for sure that they would beat the Yankees. Actually, no, I didn't think they could. I just did it because I really don't like the Yankees because I'm a Jays fan. Now, this one was more of a biased pick, and they got their ass beat in the wild card game. So far, my predictions, I am 0 for 2. So, let's move on to a different team. Let's start off with Cleveland Indians. Easiest prediction. I predicted the Astros would sweep them in 3 games. Of course they did. Cleveland Indians, worst team to make the postseason this year. I mean, I wouldn't say they're the worst. No, they are the worst. The only reason they made it in was because of their crappy division. Now, maybe the Brewers, you could say that for the Braves as well, but for a while, the Braves actually had competition in the NL. They had to deal with the Phillies and the Nationals, but then eventually they both the Phillies and the Nats crumbled at the end, so Atlanta ended up winning their division. But Indians, I knew they would get swept. They are terrible. They had no chance against the Houston Astros, considering that they only won 90 games, and the Astros won over 100, so easy prediction. Now, let's just go on to Atlanta Braves. Once again, another correct prediction. I predicted that the Los Angeles Dodgers would beat the Braves in 4 games, and of course I was right. Atlanta, their biggest problem going into that playoffs was they had no experience. No playoff experience in the slightest. Because all their good guys were rookies, but, you know, I knew LA would win it this series, but like I said, I thought Atlanta would have 1 good game, and then they'd be brought back to reality. Boom, another prediction. Then the next one, the Yankees. Now, I predicted they would get eliminated in the wild card game, but I did actually predict the Red Sox would beat the Athletics in 4. And Red Sox, they did beat the Yankees in 4. Wow, that was actually one of my failed predictions that actually went right. Like, this one could not have gone more right for me. Yankees, well, I don't know. They just They didn't do too well. I mean, sure, games 1 and 4 they made big comebacks, but they just weren't enough. Game 3 was just an embarrassment. I think I don't remember the score. I think they lost 16-1. All I know is that Brock Holt for the Red Sox hit for the cycle, first guy, and he hit for the cycle. His final hit, which was a home run, he hit off a position player pitching to him. I don't really remember that one, but that was just embarrassing. But the Yankees, they lost in 4. Actually, one of my better predictions. And we'll revisit. Here's the Colorado Rockies now. Like I said, I predicted that the Cubs would beat them in the wild card game. Easy. And then the Cubs were off to play the Brewers. I actually predicted the Brewers would win in 5 games. Now, considering the Cubs got knocked out by the Rockies could not really put up much of a fight. I mean, Milwaukee pitching was just too good, especially Josh Hader. Josh Hader, he's a machine. If he was a starter, he would nothing could touch him if Josh Hader was a starter. But the only reason I said it would take 5 for the Brewers to beat the Cubs is because they're division rivals. I thought they would put up a big fight, but considering the Rockies only scored 2 runs in the entire series, they played 28 innings. I think it was either 28 or 29. I'm pretty sure it was 28 because Game 1, they made a late comeback just to send Game 1 into extra innings, but they lost in 3, and they didn't score a run in 27 out of 28. So, yeah. Now I shall revisit my champions, which I named the Houston Astros. Now, this one, it was slightly biased, except this one was partially biased. Like, I wanted them to win it all last year, and I also wanted them to win it all this year. But I thought, they would just be too much for the Red Sox. I thought that the Astros would win, and, well, long story short, they didn't. I always said Red Sox had a terrible bullpen. Well, this time the bullpen kind of showed the Astros, and, Astros pitching wasn't as rock solid as it was. Like, Garrett Cole, Justin Verlander, and they didn't perform too well now. I know Altuve had faced a bit of an injury, but still, I don't know. Like, this one was a series that didn't go how I thought it would. I wasn't too thrilled seeing the Red Sox make the World Series. Red Sox, they won. They beat the Red Sox beat the Astros in 5 games. I predicted the Astros would beat them in 6, but unfortunately, that's not how it went. And now let's go to the Milwaukee Brewers. Now, why did I predict the Brewers? I knew it would be a very, very close series, but because I had already predicted Houston would make the World Series, honestly, I didn't really think that it would be back-to-back World Series or it'd be Houston-LA because I thought they'd be going full Cavs-Warriors, as now the Warriors and the Cavs faced off in the past 4 NBA Finals, which will not happen again this year. I'm already calling an early prediction. Raptors will beat the Warriors in the Finals in 7 games. Don't at me. Please just don't at me. Anyways, back on track. I thought the Brewers, they had a chance, and they did, but Game 7, they just decided to fall. They just fell apart. That rock-solid pitching core they didn't stand to the offense of the Dodgers. And Josh Hader, unfortunately for them, unfortunately because he's a reliever, they used Josh Hader quite a bit in this series, and I think, if you can get through Hader, it's pretty much over. They couldn't get through Hader, but they were able to make sure that he didn't pitch a lot, so he did pitch a lot. He threw a lot of pitches, but that made him very tired, so he couldn't go on so much further, so that's why the Brewers were eliminated. And now we got to the World Series, Boston and LA. And for the World Series, I just kept putting out polls on my Instagram saying who's going to win this game and that game, and, I thought LA could have done it, but, Boston was way better than they were, and, Boston ended up winning in 5. I'd say their greatest comeback, in my opinion, the greatest game that they played in the World Series was probably World Series Game 4, when they were down 4-0. Let's see, Mitch Moreland hits a 3-run home run, Steve Pearce hits a home run, and it's tied, and it's all tied up. And I think it was another guy, I think it was Devers, had a go-ahead single, so it was 5-4, and then Pierce cleared the bases with a double, and then there was another hit, and then they made a little noise with Kike Hernandez hitting a 2-run home run, but it wasn't enough. Red Sox won that game 9-6, and then they went on to win the next day pretty easily. So, Boston Red Sox were your World Series champions in 5 games. So, before I finish this, I will go over, kind of my prediction list that I kind of put at the bottom of this. These are just NBA logos mixed with NFL logos. I think they're cool. So, starting off, I predicted, like I said, I'd be giving myself points. So, I get 1 point for every prediction. Every team I predict would win a series, and how many games it would take. So, let's start off with the wild card. A's and Cubs, I predicted they'd win the wild card game. That didn't happen. So, Brewers, I predicted in 5, because I thought they'd be facing the Cubs. That did not happen, but Brewers got the win. So, that's 1 point right there. So, then, Red Sox in 4 over the Athletics. I mean, they did win it in 4. So that's another 2 points. So that's 3 points right there. And of course, I predicted the Stros would sweep. So that is another 2 points. That puts me at 5 points. Then Dodgers, they ended up winning in 4. That's put me at 7. So already off the bat, I was doing really well. Then the championship series came. Stros were unable to win. It didn't even go 6 games, so no points there. Now the Brewers, I did predict they'd win in 7, but they didn't. But the Dodgers won in 7, so that's 8 points. And then the World Series, I said Stros in 5. It was Red Sox in 5, but that's another one. So I got 9 predictions correct. That is one of my most accurate postseason predictions that I had ever made. Now, most other postseason predictions, around like the first series, I'll do really well then. My biased thinking will just take me away. I won't get predictions correct. Like, I predicted Saints win the Super Bowl, but of course Marcus Williams forgets how to tackle. I predicted Raptors would win the NBA Finals, but then they met LeBron James. And I even predicted that the Las Vegas Golden Knights last season would win the Stanley Cup. That was my closest prediction, but they lost to the Capitals in 5. I even predict they'd play the Bruins. That was dumb, but that is all for today. Thank you all for watching. If you want to see my postseason predictions, click the link in the description below. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel, comment down below what else you want to see on my channel. Make sure to follow me on Instagram and Snapchat @SuperTheSavage. Thank you all for watching. Have a great day.